What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. And there's so many different programs going on here at so many different levels here on the state and federal level here that help out thousands or even millions of people here. Let me show you some of them. A lot of people don't know about this, and a lot of times it's thousands and thousands of dollars. Check this out. Okay, first, we know about the federal student loan forgiveness that President Biden has announced. That's $10,000 to $20,000. The $20,000 is for the lowest income people who were Pell Grant recipients, but also had to take out student loans. That's going to be for, as I said, about 43 million Americans. One of the biggest things here is that Republicans might challenge it in a court of law, which is kind of scary for a lot of people because these student loans it takes many people years or even decades to pay it off, and this would have provided just a little bit of breathing room. You think about $10,000, it sounds like a lot, but the average cost of college nowadays is can be 25 to $50,000, depending on where you go to school and including room and board and food and stuff like that. So if you think about if it's $50,000 for one single year, $10,000 isn't that much in the scheme of things. And I'll keep you up to date on that. I'll keep you up to date on everything here going on here in our country. But also, you can see here tax credit 2022 from the Washington Examiner here. Deadline for Maryland residents to claim $1,000 student loan relief 12 days away. So there's some states that actually have student loan relief on the state level. I didn't know this. Did you know this? And apparently, this has been going on for years. This is not a new thing, which is crazy. I did not realize this. How cool. And Maryland, again, any given state can provide relief to their residents in any given way, right? Eligible people have until September 15th to apply for the student loan debt relief credit of up to $1,000 in this state. Your state may have this too. So, whatever state you're from, feel free to Google it, look into it, possibly may have it. The credit's goal is to aid residents of the Chesapeake Bay state who took out college loans. To qualify for the credit, applicants who attended a Maryland institute must have filed their state income taxes and have a student loan of at least $20,000 while maintaining $5,000 or more in unpaid debt, according to a Southern Maryland Chronicle report. Recipients do not need to have graduated from college to qualify for the credit. Out of state applicants are eligible as well, but may not receive as large of a credit. Recipients must also prove the credit will go towards paying the loans, the report said, or else they may have to pay the full amount of the credit back. The tax credit has been in place since 2017 and has assisted over 40,000 Maryland residents, and almost 10,000 state residents have received the credit in 2021 alone. With those attending in-state institutions receiving $1,067, so actually over $1,000, those attending out-of-state institutions receiving $875. Saying, quote, going to college may seem out of reach for many Marylanders given the huge expenses, but the tax credits like these help make it possible. So basically, you get to save some money on your state taxes via the state. So they're helping people out. Maryland is among several states seeking to provide financial relief to residents. States such as Connecticut, Illinois, New York, Pennsylvania, and Rhode Island installed tax rebates or one time direct payments to residents in various cities. And just for example, Maryland's done other things as well. You can see here, Maryland did the Relief Act of 2021, where they sent out median payments of $500 and $300 for individuals last year who filed for the earned income tax credit, basically a stimulus check last year. It sent out $178 million to 400,000 Marylanders. And that's really just, one of the type of credits. You can see here another one, Child Tax Credit 2022, new rebate payment worth up to $750 to help families catch up on bills. Again, a lot of states have state credits as well. Families in Rhode Island are eligible to claim a state child tax credit rebate of up to $750. Around 115,000 Rhode Island households are anticipated to get the cash. Any taxpayer who files an income tax return before the end of August 31st will be eligible for a rebate starting in October. And those who file an extension or filed by October 17th, the extended tax deadline, rebates will be sent out starting in December. A lady named Kathleen Burke said, "We are grateful for the child tax rebate funds from the state, which will allow families to either offer that little extra for their child or to play catch up on bill. Every dollar counts." A recent survey by care.com revealed that 94% of parents have had to make sacrifices in the last year. Remember, the child tax credits have stopped the monthly payments this last year. Some of the sacrifices that parents have had to make: 42% of parents reduced their hours at work, 26% of parents changed jobs, and 26% of parents left the workforce entirely. And a lot of this is because the cost of childcare is just out of this world, and the families can't afford childcare. A childcare rate of no more than 7% of the family's household income is considered affordable. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, they wanted to put this in the previous version of the Build Back Better, but it didn't make the cut with Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. It's something they wanted to put in there, but it has not been passed yet. Currently, most families have reported that they spend no less than 10% of their household income on child care expenses. Yeah, so it's very expensive that they spend much more than 10% of that just on child care. Yeah. 85% of families surveyed said they spend at least 10% of their household income on child care costs. More than half, 57% of families surveyed said they spent more than $10,000 on childcare in 2020. And we know what inflation's been like since 2020. So this is how expensive childcare is, guys. More than 57% said they spent more than $10,000 in childcare in 2020. It's 2022 now. So imagine how much childcare has gone up since then. 59% of families are on track to spend more than $10,000 in childcare in 2021. So right now, because they haven't passed the enhanced child tax credits, which would have been $3,000 for children ages 6 through 17 and $3,600 for children under the age of 6, from 0 to 5. If they can't pass it here either before the midterm elections or after the midterm elections to boost that number back up, because they could do it after the midterm elections based on however the elections come out, uh, whether the Democrats control Congress or the Republicans control Congress, or if it's a mix, because it could happen after, which would be totally fine. They won't come out with the monthly payments because it'll be too late, but it still could come out with the larger credit. Remember that even last year, even with the monthly payments were only for half the year. You still needed to file a tax return to get the other half of the money. Okay, monthly payments were only for 6 months, The other half of the money, $1,500 to $1,800, you needed to file a 2021 tax return to get $1,500 to $1,800 per child. Okay. But remember, you can see there that 59% of people spend over $10,000 a year just for child care alone, let alone the cost of feeding the child, clothing the child, and other stuff. So it's very expensive. I actually just seen a recent report that said it costs the average cost of raising a child now is over $300,000. It's yeah. So getting that extra, so now it's going to go down to $2,000, but you need to file a tax return just like last year to get the extra money that wasn't in the monthly payments. You got to file a tax return. So even if you make $0, we're going to have to see what the qualifications are. Um, so last year you could have got it with $0. I'll have to look into the details and see when we get to the end of the year if they don't pass the enhanced how it's going to work here. Um, but last year you had to file. You're gonna have to file to get it this year. I'll have to see if there's income qualifications on it or not. But you're gonna have to file to get it. So if they don't pass the enhanced version of it, it will go back down to 2,000 a child. But still, 2,000 is 2,000 is better than zero. Okay, you got to file a tax return. Okay, same thing with all these state child tax credits. You got to file. Why do you have to file? Because one, they have to know where you live. Two, two, they have to know who you are. Three, they have to know how much money you make. They don't know if you make $1. They don't know if you make 10,000. They don't know if you make 100,000. They don't know if you make 100 million. So they have to like just get the paperwork on you. And so like last year you could have made zero, and the child tax credits you just file with the IRS and they literally send you the money. Yeah. It's like, hey, file, give me money. IRS says, okay, here's money. Yeah. And same thing with missing stimulus checks for last year or the year before. The stimulus checks, stimulus check 1, 2, and 3, those are technically tax rebates, even if you didn't have income. So if you missing stimulus check 1, 2, or 3, you have to file a tax return to get them at this point. They're not going to send them out at this point. So occasionally I'll still see a comment that said, I'm still missing, I never got stimulus check number 3. You have to file a tax return to get those. Okay, it's on line 30. And so you might want to walk into an H&R Block or something to get a little bit of advice or something on that. But yeah, so technically stimulus checks are tax rebates, even if you don't make any income or not required to file a tax return. You still need to file a tax return to get that at this point because the IRS is not issuing those old stimulus checks at this point. You have to file a tax return, and it might take a while. IRS is very far behind. They're going to try to hire new people here now at this point, but it's going to be a slow undertaking. It's going to take a long time, and then they got to train all these people and all that good stuff, right? But it's going to take a while. So the other thing here is that um, the Social Security raises here. There's several different bills here to raise Social Security. You can see right here on Senator Bernie Sanders' website, U.S. Senator for Vermont. He's an independent senator. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. You can see here, this is a press release from his Senate webpage. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders, co-sponsored with Senator Elizabeth Warren and colleagues, introduced legislation to expand Social Security by $2,400 and extend the solvency for 75 years. So the reason for how they would do how they would do this is because they would make high income earners that make over $250,000 would start paying into the Social Security system. Right now, they stop paying into Social Security after they make $147,000. So they want to make them pay into Social Security at $250,000, and they can then they could enhance Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year for everybody and actually extend the solvency for 75 years. So Social Security would actually have more money and be able to pay out more benefits. You can see here These estimates reflect an analysis of legislation conducted by the Social Security Administration. So Social Security did an actual analysis and said, yes, it will actually, based on Social Security's math, it will um, extend the solvency by 75 years. So Social Security did the math and said, yes, it checks out. That is correct based on our analysis, based on our projections. Of course, we don't really know what's going to happen in 75 years, but Social Security said, yes, it does check out. The math does check out based on our projections, and we can increase benefits. So it seems like a really good thing here. The analysis was also released today in a letter by the chief actuary, Stephen Goss. This follows the recent analysis of an annual report by the trustees of the Social Security and Medicare trust funds that showed Social Security currently has $2.85 trillion surplus and can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible recipient until the year 2035, which is only 13 years from now, which is why Congress needs to act. They need to change something. So this could actually increase benefits and extend the solvency. So 75 years would actually be past the year 2100. Okay, which just be most of our lifetimes would be past then. Bernie Sanders says, quote, at a time when half of older Americans have no retirement savings and millions of senior citizens are living in poverty, our job is not to cut Social Security. Our job must be to expand Social Security so that every senior citizen in America can retire with dignity they deserve, and every person with a disability can live with the security they need. And we will do that by demanding that the wealthiest people in America finally pay their fair share of taxes. It is absurd that a billionaire in America today pays the same amount of Social Security taxes as someone making $147,000. It is time to scrap the cap, expand benefits, and fully fund Social Security. I am very proud that the Social Security Administration has estimated that our legislation to expand Social Security benefits by $2,400 per year will fully fund Social Security for the next 75 years by applying the payroll tax on all income, including capital gains, above people that make $250,000 a year. Social Security is an economic lifeline for millions of Americans, but many seniors are struggling with rising costs, says Senator Warren. As Republicans try to phase out Social Security and raise taxes on 70 million hardworking Americans, I'm working with Senator Bernie Sanders to expand Social Security and extend its solvency by making the wealthiest pay their fair share so that everyone can retire with dignity. So let me know your thoughts here on this. The problem here is that it's about 50-50 right now. When people go into retirement, about 50% of people have retirement funds like 401ks, pensions, and additional retirement funds, Roth IRAs and stuff like that. The problem is that the other 50% of people go into retirement with no retirement savings or very little retirement savings and rely only on Social Security. That is a significant problem. Okay. So a lot of people get less than $1,000 a month, and you can see here that the average Social Security payment is about $1,500 a month. Okay, $1,500 a month here in 2022. 1544 from the Social Security Administration. 1544 times 12. Whoop, times 12 is about $18,000, $18,500 a year. Now, some people get a lot less than that. So you can let me know if you think this is a lot or you think this is a little. But making $18,000 a year and now in 2022 going into 2023 is really not that much money, especially because $1,500 a month, according to a new data that was just released here, the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment is almost $1,800 a month. And for a two-bedroom is $2,100 a month. And a lot of times you have to pay electric or other utilities on top of this. And then you have to pay food on top of this. You have to pay for a car on top of this. And you have to pay all sorts of things on top of this. I mean, surely food isn't included. If you have a child on top of this, surely that's not included. This is just for a one-bedroom apartment. Think about all and again, if you're looking at, $1,500 a month, and this is supposed to be in your golden years in your retirement, you can't even afford a one-bedroom apartment. This is all your income. This is why we need a massive change to Social Security. It's just not enough. And 50% of our retirees are seniors, people that, have already gone through life and really need a massive boost. Something needs to be changed. This just isn't right. This just isn't right. They can't even afford a one-bedroom apartment. This is the average cost across the United States here. This is brand new data that just came out. And things are only getting higher and higher and higher. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I think this needs to be drastically changed. There's 3 bills in Congress right now to do this. And there's a lot of things that are getting done here. I mean, 43 million Americans just got announced $10,000 to $20,000 of student loan forgiveness. There's a massive SNAP and food stamp assistance that's going to happen here in September. I'll keep you up to date on that. Over 31 different states have state stimulus checks and tax reductions happening already, or a lot of them have already passed it and have gone out here. I'll keep you up to date on that. But really, there's a lot going on here in our country. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. Make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. Click the bell icon after you click subscribe so you get notifications when we go live with new videos. New videos come out here every day on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. You can click here to watch my next video about stimulus checks going on here for millions of people. And here is my next video about Social Security raises of $2,400. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.